talking about the budget. All right, let's talk about presidential politics a little bit and just Mid-South reaction to it, very much along partisan lines. And I don't know, to me it's just, it's kind of sad, just the tone of the rhetoric that's taking place on both sides. I'm not holding anyone innocent here. But after the verdict was read, Marsha Blackburn, the senator from Tennessee, said it was an un-American weaponization of our justice system, said there's no way President Trump was going to get a fair trial in New York City with the liberal DA who campaigned on targeting him. On Trump trial, she also said that it was a communist show trial. Based on a false claim at the time that said a 4-4-4 verdict would be unanimous, which was completely erroneous. I don't want to get into how that got started, but social media is what it is. Congressman David Kustoff from West Tennessee saying President Donald Trump's conviction today is a manufactured distraction from the 2024 election. There's no doubt this has been a partisan process every step of the way. Our nation should be concerned with the two-tiered partisan system of justice that we have all witnessed in New York. And then Congressman Steve Cohen of Memphis said, listening to Trump, it's embarrassing. He's lying about the judge, the last election, about Joe Biden, legal experts, throws out words like fascist and communist, which he couldn't find in a dictionary. Central Casting couldn't find anyone more perfect to cast as authoritarian. So, man, I guess what is interesting to me the most is this whole two-tiered argument. Because we all know that lots of exceptions were made for this defendant that would not be made for other defendants, including being in contempt of court and other accommodations as well. We all know that the current president's son is being tried in federal court, that a Democratic senator is being tried in federal court on corruption charges, a Democratic congressman. So this two-tiered system of justice and partisan politics within the justice system seems to me a bit of a stretch. Otis?
Yeah, Richard, I take a little bit of a different approach to what you said about both sides here are to blame. Mm-hmm. The Democrat here that we mentioned, Steve Cohen, he was accurate. He might have been a little mean in what he said there, but he was accurate. The Republicans here are being totally inaccurate. In other words, they're lying here. And so they are just trying to stir up their constituency. They're doing what Trump wants to do, and they're doing what their voters want to do. I am particularly disappointed again with David Kustoff, who was a federal prosecutor who ran for the office on saying that I got John Ford and I put him in jail. He knows what is valid evidence, what is not valid evidence, and this was done the proper way. And I say shame on him because he knows better. I don't really, I don't give the others any credit for that.
And no one gives the jury any credit in any
Right.
of these comments.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that they were ultimately the ones who did what they were supposed to do in an honorable way.
And what strikes me on that front is that when you have a jury, both sides have the opportunity to oppose a juror being a juror. And so I assume that was done in this case, and yet nobody is talking about that.
Right.
You know what bugs me is that for all my life, I have been told to trust this justice system
Right.
and democracy. And now they're saying, except for when it comes to us.
Right.
Now, when Emmett Till was killed, we had to accept that and go through the process for decades to get that wrong corrected.
Right. And it never was
the-
really corrected.
It never really was. And Central Park 5, through the process, but we still relied on our justice system. Now you want to say because one person can't have their way, that a whole jury was wrong? That we don't know anything about those jurors. They were people in that area who swore to look at the evidence and make a decision.
Yeah.
And we have no respect for them. That's awful.
Well, we got very little time left. If we put up the pictures of Tom Cotton, the senator from Arkansas, Marsha Blackburn, two people who are names keep surfacing as possible choices by Trump to be his running mate for VP. Real quick, I need like 5 to 6 seconds from each of you. Any of those names interest you?
I don't think Marsha Blackburn has a chance. Tom Cotton may have a chance, but I'm looking more at Tim Scott or Marco Rubio.
Interesting.
Those two names seem like they'd get along well with Trump.
They would.
No comment. I hope it's Marsha Blackburn so we can maybe have another opportunity of getting the Senate seat if she'll resign.
Okay, there you go.
Not going to happen. Not gonna happen.
Well, it's fun to talk about anyway. All right, that's going to do it for us. I want to thank my panel and thank you at home. We'll see you next week for ABC24 This Week.